This video is by no means intended to be a full or all-inclusive training video. It only serves as a reminder of things we think are important to operate the rental vehicle safely. Understand that you are taking part in these activities knowing there is risk involved, and that you 100% assume responsibility for yourself and the rented equipment.
Welcome back to Hill Country Adventure Rentals. We're excited to have you out to ride with us, and we know it's going to be a great time. Right now, we're just going to cover a few riding tips and safety procedures to help keep you safe out on the trail. Number one on the list is safety equipment. And when it comes to safety, the first thing you need to worry about is a helmet. Everybody that comes out to Hill Country Adventure Rentals has to be wearing a helmet. If you're sitting on the machine and the machine is on, then you need to be wearing the helmet, and the helmet's got to be buckled because it won't help you if it falls off. In addition to a helmet, at Hill Country Adventure Rentals, we require all riders and passengers to wear closed-toed shoes, jeans or riding pants, and safety glasses. Sunglasses will work fine. A lot of people choose to wear those, but if you want to bring goggles or if you want to rent goggles from us, that's fine as well. Hidden Falls Adventure Park is a private trail park, and since it's private, they have their own set of rules. All of the rules are located on the back of your trail map. Make sure and read over them carefully, because if you don't follow them, the trail park rangers can ask you to leave the property. Another important thing to remember getting to and from the trails is that from our office to Area A, where the trails begin, it's just a little over a mile. And that is Park Road 1, which is monitored by the trail park rangers. The speed limit is 10 miles an hour for the rental machines. And if you get caught doing donuts or fishtails, the park rangers can ask you to leave and you won't get a refund. So don't be this guy. Next, we're going to go over the operations and controls of your ATV. When you sit down, locate the foot brake underneath your right foot. Next, look for the ignition on your right hand fender. After you turn on the ignition, the start button is on your left hand controls. It's the gray one. Right above the start button on your left hand controls is a red kill switch. This is what you want to use if you need to turn off your motor. On most of our ATVs, on the right-hand control side, you're going to see a red button. This is the two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive button. We recommend that you only use four-wheel drive when you're going up an obstacle. Once you have the ATV started, we're ready to put it in gear. Depress your right foot brake, and then on your left-hand fender, you'll see the gear shift. Put it in gear. You typically want to use high unless you're coming up to an obstacle, and then you can change it to low. But I don't think it's necessary to do so often. Once you got it in gear, we're ready to rock. The throttle is on your right hand thumb. One of the most important things is remembering how to stop. Here at Hill Country Adventure Rentals, we like to tell you just to use all the brakes all the time. Next, we're going to cover a few riding tips to help keep you safe on the trail. The number one thing when it comes to riding safely at Hidden Falls is don't get overconfident and go too fast. Keep things slow, keep things under control, and you're sure to have a safe time. The second safety tip that we can give you is make sure and pay attention to the trail signs. The trails are all marked with trail names and also trail difficulty levels from beginner to advanced. Typically there's dots on the signs, 1 dot being the easiest and 3 dots being the most difficult. Next, we're going to talk about weight distribution. This is the hill country, and there are a few hills out here. So it's important that you're shifting your weight the right direction when you're riding the ATV so that it doesn't get off of 4 wheels. So when you're out there on the trails and you come to a big hill, make sure and ease into the throttle, climb slow and steady, and lean forward into the handlebars. When you come to a big downhill section, it's just the opposite of going uphill. So you're going to stay off the gas, move your weight towards the rear of the ATV, and keep 2 fingers on the brakes with slight brake pressure to keep you from going too fast. Another thing that you're going to run into often at Hidden Falls is rock ledges. Don't worry, they're not too big, and the ATVs can handle it as long as you don't go too fast. So just come up to the obstacle, push your 4-wheel drive button if you have one, and crawl right up it, slow and steady. Remember, it's rock crawling, not rock jumping. You're also going to come across places in the trail where you're going to have to traverse things off camber. The important thing to remember is that you need to lean into the hill when you're coming across it. Another important aspect of weight transfer when you're riding an ATV is leaning into the turns. And you want to lean to the inside of a turn. So if you're turning left, then lean left. If you're turning right, then lean right. Lastly, and most importantly, remember to have fun. This is Hill Country Adventure Rentals, and we know that if you follow these safety tips and you don't get overconfident, that you're going to have a great time. If you have any questions, make sure and ask the manager on duty or your guide, and we look forward to seeing you back.